Should you be worried about Facebook's metaverse? If you've read anything about virtual reality lately, chances are you've heard Facebook's name. The social media giant recently announced its plans for a global metaverse, a virtual universe where people will soon be able to create 3D avatars and interact with each other. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool, but don't get your hopes up just yet. There's more to it than what meets the eye. What is Facebook's new metaverse and what should you be worried about? The answer might surprise you. Welcome to Future. Today we'll share more about why we should be worried about Facebook's metaverse. Before we do, subscribe to our channel to get updated with everything on future technology, Elon Musk, or SpaceX. Zuckerberg has been working on a project for the last few years that might eventually replace the internet as we know it. No, not just Facebook, the social media site that you know. The actual internet, the one that connects over 1.6 billion people worldwide to each other, their ideas, and their experiences. Facebook's new Metaverse initiative is taking over headlines as users speculate about the future of virtual reality. But Facebook is also working on other initiatives for virtual reality, thus making it more than a mere fantasy. The new beginnings. Moving at a glacial pace compared to the speed with which technology evolves, the internet of today is essentially a series of tubes, pipes carrying information from point A to B. What Facebook has in mind is an entirely new infrastructure for the web where you don't just interact with content from a screen, but are able to visit digital worlds and participate in them. Think about it like this. What if, instead of having websites that are essentially glorified brochures for businesses or organizations, you could actually walk into those websites? What if you were able to participate in sports on ESPN's website, or visit a virtual marketplace within Amazon, or hunt down and eliminate bad guys within a video game hosted on Facebook? Touted as the next big thing in online interaction, Facebook's metaverse was confirmed by CEO Mark Zuckerberg at the company's Oculus Connect Developer Conference in September 2017. The concept has been around since at least 2013, when the company first announced its plans to create a series of apps that would allow users to visit different locations together using their smartphones. Facebook released its first such app, Facebook Spaces, in April 2017. Metaverse is also tied to Oculus Venues, another app for Oculus Rift and Samsung Gear VR virtual reality headsets that allows you to attend live events virtually with other people, similar to AltSpace VR. These events are held by Facebook partners such as Major League Baseball and Comedy Central. In October 2021, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg stated that the company would change its name to Meta and expand its borders into the metaverse. What is the metaverse and how does it work? The metaverse will be the mobile internet's successor. A new reality complete with avatars and futuristic realms is promised by the company. It comes at a time when other billionaires are branching out into other areas. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have invested billions in space initiatives. The more invisible we are, the more harm we cause. And we've seen it in Myanmar, India, and Ethiopia. So why does Facebook, now Meta, continue to prioritize business over user safety? This study isn't a revelation. Can we trust Mark Zuckerberg enough to follow him into the metaverse? The rebranding of Facebook could be a deliberate attempt to divert attention away from the company's numerous failures. It appears like we made a blunder there. It was, in perspective, a mistake. However, the metaverse appears to promise a new age, at least on the surface. Today, Facebook is known as a social networking company, but its DNA is a technology firm that connects people, and the metaverse is the next frontier. As a result, this was an unavoidable next step in the evolution of social media, allowing you to see the virtual physical presence of individuals you're connected to from all over the world. Mark Zuckerberg's interests are now in virtual reality, and he's trying to figure out how to use it. Facebook has a very obvious business strategy that is motivated by the urge to collect as much information as possible about their customers or users. However, some people are concerned that the new data we generate in the metaverse may create a privacy nightmare. Facebook has made a big deal about the fact that it would no longer use facial recognition on images uploaded to the site. However, it has not stated that it will not perform facial recognition in the metaverse. So the argument is that they're creating an AI-driven engine that will be able to affect behavior in the metaverse even more effectively than it can in actual space. And while creating more data isn't always a bad thing, it might give firms like Facebook unparalleled power. Mark Zuckerberg wields as much or more power over people's connections and conversations than anyone before him. Meta is a lot more dangerous version of what Facebook is in the actual world right now, as long as that business model doesn't change. Former employee Frances Haugen leaked hundreds of internal documents just weeks before Facebook's redesign. The articles demonstrated how its products could cause harm, the harm that could be multiplied in the metaverse. Facebook's goods are harmful to children, cause conflict, and erode our democracy. According to the leak, Facebook was aware of the potential harm its products could do and chose to dismiss employee concerns. It has been demonstrated that they were not only harsh in their denials and attacks on independent researchers in the past, but they also knew that those people were correct. It's possible that Facebook is about to have its big tobacco moment. CEOs of major tobacco companies testified before Congress in the 1990s, attempting to downplay the dangers of cigarettes. Only the tobacco firms stood a chance of discovering the truth. In that scenario, we believe it is critical for someone from within the organizations to come forward and share what they know with the rest of the world. Despite the amount of devastation they cause, these firms have played a very cunning game to safeguard their reputations. The political mania. Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol building in January. According to the leak, Facebook did not take adequate precautions to prevent the outburst, but Facebook is common to all. For years, this platform has allowed itself to be exploited to foment discord in elections and fuel growing discontent in these communities. In the run-up to the attack, some measures put in place for the 2020 election were pulled back. They had a whole slew of circuit breakers, as they called them, to help slow down the crazy that was clearly escalating. A significant power outage crippled Facebook and its other platforms, Instagram and WhatsApp, weeks following Frances Haugen's revelations. It was so awful that the only way for Facebook to let the rest of the world know what was going on, and this is true, was to send a tweet. The outage demonstrated how reliant the world is on Facebook, for better or ill. Another ghastly event that could have been averted took place in Ethiopia. The country has been engulfed in a violent civil war for almost a year. In August, 28 bodies washed up on the banks of a river near the Sudanese border, some with their hands tied and others with bullet holes. They are thought to have originated in Trigay, according to eyewitnesses. The Ethiopian government dismissed the discovery as a hoax. We don't know how many people died because there hasn't been a true count yet, but it's one of the bloodiest wars we've ever seen. How does Facebook come into the picture? The social media giant was aware that it was being used to incite ethnic conflict in the country, but did nothing about it. Both state and non-state actors use the platform to promote misinformation and disinformation to the point where there's a constant calling for ethnic cleansing of certain ethnic groups. Mark Zuckerberg hasn't addressed any of these issues yet. He has demonstrated that he isn't the right person to be trusted with for dominating the next level, which is the metaverse. If Facebook is going to take over the next generation as well, then it would mean tragedy. But let's face it, they've handled this generation horribly. What do you think will be the repercussions of the metaverse? Will Facebook act responsibly or stay mum and watch the fun, as they have been doing? Let us know in the comment section below. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get updated with everything on future technology, Elon Musk, or SpaceX. Thank you for watching.